Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and we're going to be checking in for the week of May, for the third week of May, for the 14th to the 20th. After tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the fourth week as well, but let's just get right into it. I have all of my expenses written down too. Some of them I always forget that I continue writing them into the following week. It's okay, I will hold them until next week. The planner that I have here is my Erin Condren monthly planner. This is in the color blend designed, and we are currently in May with these two beautiful prints that we have. So let's just pull up the app that we like to use. So the app that we like to use is the Daily Budget app. This one is the app that I've just been using. I've been meaning to use the Real Budget, but since we started the month so late, I didn't really start using this yet. So we're just going to continue rolling with the Daily Budget app. We're going to go into this app and scroll down to the 14th so we can start tracking our expenses. And if you guys are curious about the apps that we use or about how our checking or saving accounts are hooked up, because we are cashless budgeters, we don't use cash at all. We actually mainly use credit cards for everything. I will have two videos linked below. One kind of like a brief overview of everything, of how they work and how the accounts are intertwined with each other in the apps we use. And the second video is about how we set up those apps to be the way they are, so we can utilize the system that we have. So going here, we know that the 14th there was nothing spent. Same with the 15th, 16th, 17th we had a bunch of food expenses spent. We have the fork and knife icons to symbolize eating out, so we have 3 of those and then 1 gas. But essentially I'm going to keep scrolling, and this is where we're going to get our expenses from, and that's where I'm going to be getting the numbers from as well. So for the 17th we had a bunch of eating out expenses, and that was on a Wednesday, which is kind of random, but I guess we got bored. But the first one was for New Village, and we spent some money to get, I think we got like beef chow fun or something. I don't know, sometimes we go through phases where we just want like a bunch of food that's in this area. We also got banchan for $50. Banchan is so expensive now, which is insane. And then we also got kung fu tea for $13. I feel like every time I get kung fu tea, my husband always drinks his and he drinks most of mine. But yeah, the next one is for gas. We did get gas this day as well, and that was $31, and that is this beautiful blue color. We have our key, so we know what each color symbolizes. Eating out is pink, blue is gas, groceries, allowance, pups, and bean. Next, we did not spend anything again until the 20th. So the 20th we got gas again. And then the rest of the expenses were actually from our sinking funds, since this day we went to Philadelphia. So we had a bunch of sinking fund expenses. But since we only spent for gas this day from our daily expenses, I'm going to just put down our none spent stickers. Surprisingly, I thought we spent more. Well, technically we did, but it just came out of our sinking funds instead of like our regular accounts. But yeah, we have a bunch of none spent this week for our daily category, which is nice. So that is another 5 additional ones. Sweet. But let's talk about our sinking funds. Alright, so we have our sinking funds, and for this day we had 3 expenses. One of them was from our date category. We got a whole bunch of food from Philly, so that was $76. We've been using our date category for food. Then I had 2 expenses from the gifts and treating. It was 2 separate meals. One of them was $118. I had a meal with some of my family from my dad's side that I haven't seen in a long time, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So that was a $118. I have another category which was a gifts and treating, and this was $48 for treating out my other aunt to eat, because she went with me to go and speak with like the restaurant and stuff, which I really did need her there because my Cantonese is not as good as it used to be, so I definitely needed her there because I would have been very lost. This is my thank you to her, of course. This is my closest aunt as well, so of course I had to treat her out too. and the total was $48. I think I already said that, but yeah, let's go ahead and do our weekly balance now, since now all of our daily expenses are now accounted for and our sinking funds. Last thing we need to do is our bills. I have this like AEAF lock thing on my phone. What is that? I don't even know what it is, but I don't want to touch it just in case it messes up this recording. We're just gonna skip. We're gonna go straight to week 3. So this was calculated previous week. All right. First things first, let's do our weekly check-in, and this spread is specifically to balance and budget out our daily expenses, which is eating out, groceries, gas allowance, pups and bean. This is those categories broken down. Then we have all of our bills down here broken down, and then as you guys just saw, our sinking funds are broken down into a lot of categories too. I love to break down my different categories so I know exactly where each dollar is going. Alrighty, so I just wrote down all of the categories that I have. I don't do rollover. So let's just go ahead and calculate them. But you know, we only have 2 colors, so I'm just gonna mark all the rest of them out. We only have the blue and the pink, which is eating out and gas. That means nothing was spent for groceries, allowance, or pups and bean. Since nothing was spent, that means we still have remaining of $112 for groceries and $75 for allowance. And then pups and bean is still at $100 too. But for gas, we did spend stuff. So we spent $33 plus $31. That in total is $64 that we spent on gas. That means previously we had $95. 95 minus 64 equals $31 we have remaining for gas for the month. Next, we have eating out. So for eating out, we have these 3. We spent $13 for kung fu tea, plus $50, and then plus another $15. That in total is $78 that we spent on eating out. And that is actually all of those amounts for the week. 78. That minus the previous amount of $195 that we had means we still have a leftover of $117 remaining for eating out category. Now that those are completely accounted for, let's actually balance out our checking accounts. So our checking account holds all of the funds for our daily expenses, our bills, and our sinking funds. So I think I might as well change the name now. Before, I used to have the name as monthly budget, but it is now changed to daily. So, should I just transfer over these? You know what, since we're here and since we actually skipped a week, or not skipped a week, but like combined 2 weeks together, I'm just gonna write them again down here. Right, so for our daily, we spent 78 plus 64. 78 plus 64 equals 142. That was spent, and of course again this is for these 5 categories that we have. So 142 spent. We previously had 577, so that minus 577, since that's what we started the week with, means we still have $435 left over for the month in total. Then for sinking funds, let's do that next. We did have car insurance that came out, but we never accounted for it. But let's add those come together. We had 421 plus 76 plus 118 plus 48 equals a total of $663 that came out of our sinking funds. And this has been, I feel like it's been a pretty spendy month because I actually really want to buy one of those robo vacuums, and we have not yet, but I think we will one day, maybe around Christmas time this year. But we definitely do really want to buy one because our pups are like in the midst of shedding, and I just feel like that little guy will help us if we get it to vacuum a few times a day. We just kind of spend a few seconds to empty it out. But anyway, so we started the month with 42.38, so that minus 663 equals a total of $3,575 remaining in sinking funds. Now let's talk about our bills. So for our lovely bills, let's see what bills came out. These are all of our bills. We still are missing gas, electric, mortgage, and Spotify. So let's see what has came out. All right, so it looks like all of our remaining bills came out. Gas, electric, mortgage, internet, and Spotify. As you guys can see, I kind of like double cross the other ones so I don't get confused about which ones came out of this week and previous weeks. So the ones that only have one slash are the ones that we're currently working with. The ones that are completely X'd out, those were already calculated last week. But as I was checking our accounts, I noticed that we actually had an additional amount that came out from our credit card, and that was for Easy Pass. Easy Pass finally refilled us. It's been a minute, so I'm kind of surprised, but they refilled us for $25. Since we already calculated our sinking funds, we can just do this next week. So I just won't check it off, so I'll know that I still need to calculate it next week. But that's why I like to be able to check all of our accounts every single week to make sure everything's good, no additional fees came out that we didn't authorize, things like that. But now let's calculate all of our bills that came out. So we have our gas, which is $60.44, plus our electric, $61.87, plus we have our mortgage, plus internet. And then we also have Spotify, $10.59. That in total is $2,444.89 that came out for all of our bills. All right, and I also realized that for our account, we got our little 4% of interest that is given to us every month, and it messes up our amount, but it's okay. So we had this amount minus what we had previously, which is 2,506.84, means we still have $61.95 left over. All of the bills are paid, so this is actually what we have left over, which is amazing. So we will calculate all of the leftovers in our results video. Let's talk about how much are in our accounts first, like we usually do, and then we'll add it up. Actually, I realized we have to do some transfers first before we can even do any of the numbers. So let's do our transfers first. Since we know for our daily expenses and sinking funds, we always pay with our credit card. So since we are cashless budgeters, we use our credit card for everything, which means we still have the money in our account physically, and we have to go and pay our credit card. So I'm going to add up the 142 plus the 663. We'll deal with the bills separately in a second, and we'll talk about that. But for right now, we need to transfer $805 from our second checking account to our primary checking account because we still have the money and we use our primary account to pay for our credit card. And again, I will have that video link below talking about how this all is like goes along with each other, so it's not as confusing. But I'm gonna do the transfer and I'll be right back. All right, so now that is good, let's talk about our bills to see how much from our bills we have to transfer, since some of them came out of our credit card and some of them came out of our checking account. So we have our gas, internet, and Spotify that came out of our credit card. So we still have those funds. Things like our mortgage and our electric, those already came out of the checking account. So our checking account is that much less, like the $2,222 already came out. The institution already has the money. But for the ones that paid with credit card, $60.44 plus internet is $89.99 plus we have $10.59 equals $161.02 that we have to transfer from the total, since these are the only ones that came out of our credit card. And the reason why I have some stuff hooked up to credit card is because I get a 2% cash back. I'm paying the bill anyways. For us, we decided to just have it hooked up to the credit card. It's probably easier if you don't hook it up to the credit card, so everything just comes out of the checking account and it's just easier, but I'm complicated like that, so I'd rather just have it this way. All right, so that is transfer. Now let's talk about our accounts and how much is in them. So first things first is let me find some loose stickers. Okay, these are some leftover stickers that I have. Let's talk about how much is in our savings. So for this one, we had, this is no longer the amount, but I'll just keep it in view so you guys can see it. It is an additional 2 paychecks. For our paychecks, we each transfer $1,300 per paycheck. So that means it's an additional $2,600. So right now in this short-term savings account, we have $2,600 more. So in there we have the short-term for $5,690.74. This is the one that we use to fund the following month. We already got our last paycheck for the month, so that means we already are set to go for June. We already have our $5,200 that we need for our budget every single month. So I'm gonna put this to the side since we don't need it anymore. As for this checking account, let me see how much is in here. I'm just gonna put this here for now, but we currently have 4,000, that's a dollar sign, $4,071.99. So let's see if that is accurate. Let us add all of this combined. So 435 plus 6195 plus 3575 plus our little 4 cents. That is matching perfectly. And we know we love the matching numbers over here. But that is to the T how much is in this account. So as you guys can see, let me actually remove the older number since that is not accurate anymore. We have all the funds holding for each category for the daily, the bills, and the sinking funds. I should probably change this name too. Maybe next time. And then we also have our little 4 cents of interest, but this is how much is in this second checking account, and that's where all the funds are held. And that matches perfectly, so that looks good. Now we're pretty much already done for the month of May for the 3rd week's check-in. So last but not least, for this weekly check-in, we're gonna go ahead and do our Savopoly rolls. Let's do our Savopoly rolls. Okay, so I just rolled to the back. I actually set up my debt confessions video with you guys, and that should be coming up within the next few days. So I just had to kind of cut that out so you guys didn't see it. But we're going to go ahead and go to our little dice app that we have. This is a free app from the app store. I use 2 dice, so we're going to roll 3 times like we usually do. The first one is 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's saved $10. We also pass go, but instead of collecting $10, we did choose to save an additional $10. So that's actually $20 so far we're saving. Second roll is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is save $5 plus 5. And then last roll is 2. Double digits, which means we're also going to save double the amount. So that's chess. What does chess say? Roll dice, treat yourself to that amount. But instead of treating ourselves to that amount, we're going to save that amount. And because we rolled snake eyes, like double digits, we're going to also save double that amount. So let's roll. What does it say? Roll dice once. Okay, so that's, what is this? 4, but 4 plus 4 is 8. So in total, we're going to save an additional $8. So for this week, we are saving $33, which is a lot less than what we normally roll. So we'll do week 3 is $33. And we just have 1 more week in the month to go for Savopoly. But that's actually it. I feel like this video was pretty short, but long at the same time. Makes no sense. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in my next one. And I do want to say I apologize for the delay in videos and me being late in videos. I haven't been feeling really well the last few days. I've been feeling really sick in a sense. So I'm just trying to take it easy, trying to mentally take a breather and stuff too. But I am definitely filming these videos so I can get them out for you guys before the month's over. I still have to run to the bank too. I need to run to the bank so I could do my cash envelope stuffing. But oh my god, I've been trying to go to the bank for like 2 weeks now, and it's just, oh my gosh. Okay, hopefully we can go today. We'll see. But thank you guys so much as always for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye!